tea, hot milk tea.
Oh, milk tea.
Yeah.
For you to drink.
With bread.
The bread.
3 pieces of real bread.
With egg inside.
With egg inside my butter. So when I carry it to the man, say carry it to the man. When you give it to the man, then you must come back to the car.
So the food make you now carry that so you can go convince your friend now.
Yeah. When I give it to the man, the man say thank you. I say okay. The man say, oh, where you going now? I say, oh, I'm going right here. So one of my friends called me.
Yeah, the same man you going to now.
Yeah, the same man.
And the man tell you say want for you to go steal.
No, yeah. So when I go to the man, in a G, then they have two.
A big Jibo.
Yeah.
That one.
Black BG, photo G. Yeah. So when I clean the car now,
air condition all inside.
No, Papa, you can't wait for me to spin now. I'll leave it. So when I go to the man, he say clean the car. Then there are two now. In a Jeep. Then there are two.
A big Jeep.
Yeah.
That
big Jeep. Photo Jeep. Yeah. So when I clean the car,
when they welcome me, they say they were freedom fighters.
You can't wait for me to spin.
When they welcome me, they say they were liberators. But when they give their time,
I just ask you a question, sorry.
People that
you know, I'm a journalist. I beg you, sorry.
The way you talk when you
what kind of people
I move from here, I'll free. Did I say when I move from here, I'll free?
What kind of people?
You
freedom fighter, you raping our
I went to many who talk to you, but double
freedom fighter, you killing our children.
Freedom
fighter, you destroy our
you get a tea to the man. After you get a tea to the man and you come now. So what next now? Okay, sorry. Now I say sorry now. Okay, sorry. I will not ask you the question again. Okay, sorry. I think you explain to me, come look at me. You say you get a tea to the man. After you get a tea to the man and you come now. So what
when they were coming, they said they were liberators.
Nobody getting very
when they were coming, they said they were liberators. But when they came,
okay, sorry. Now I say sorry now. Okay, sorry.
When they came,
I will not ask you the question again. Okay, sorry.
What kind of people?
Okay, explain again. I ask you no more questions.
What kind of people? Freedom fighter, you raping our freedom fighter, you killing our freedom fighter, you destroy our country. Ayo. Ayo. Music. Aha. Freedom fighter, they not set to. Then I want my freedom fighter, they not set to. When they were coming, this.
Oh, yes, indeed. What a great day. What a wonderful opportunity it feels. And indeed, a pleasant good morning to all of you, fellow Liberian. Welcome and welcome to yet another interesting edition of the nation's premier breakfast platform, the Freedom Morning Rise on Freedom 87.9. What kind of people they so? This is the song residents of the 72nd area have got to be singing this morning. That's why you have to put the volume up. The other time it was the people of the 24th Street community, the Catholic Junction area, and then we moved to the Hotel Africa community, and today we are talking about the 72nd area. I do not have the full geography of the space that will be covered, but I'm told it's some 20 or so acres. You can imagine. I hope that information is accurate. But any which way, it is a long stretch, and it's going to affect thousands and thousands of Liberian citizens. So early yesterday morning, at about 4 to 5 a.m. in the morning, a huge platoon, so to speak, convoy of military personnel armed to the teeth with other equipment stormed the 72nd community, and by the early morning hours, the nation witnessed the fencing of the area, only to believe that the Ministry of National Defense, through the Armed Forces of Liberia, is moving to reclaim the entire area. That is the conversation, folks. The timing, the people. What considerations are there for the people? Is the government prepared to do what, or is the army, of course, prepared to actually build that facility? The notice sufficient enough. What is governance? How should matter like these be handled? And of course, this morning we're going to have conversation about that. Quite important. Good morning to our friends, our fans, and our followers. Good morning to those of you in the diaspora joining us. As always, it's good to have you join us. There are too many things to talk about, lots of things happening in Liberia. And of course, this morning, yesterday, we spoke about the corruption scandal in the education sector, and of course the Bureau of State-owned enterprise, and of course yesterday as well, the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission issued a long list warrant on arrest order for those individuals, and I'm getting reports, unconfirmed yet, that the guys have already started running away from the country. Those BSE officials, some of them have started leaving the country already. Oh yes, I'm told. So the LACC will have to pay the court for Ni Exit Republica. Most times when they are pursuing cases like these, because it seems the UP folks are running away from justice and accountability. They steal the people money, then they run away. Though some of them are running away. Roll, TB, roll. Rogues are running away. That's who they are. They steal from the poor people. Time to ask them. They got all kinds of different passports. So you see, get on the plane and they're off. And the people are left. Stranded and strangulated. Criminals in power. So interestingly, folks, fellow Liberian, this one here concerns everybody. We told you when Louis Brown was doing all kinds of things. And now, the U.S. government has placed Liberia on the big-headed list and warning all of its citizens and the entire world that Liberia is not safe. And I agree. Level 2 insecurity, travel alert. Say people man can't me are breaking a small people thing. Why the American government won't walk coming to country? Then one the people say don't go to the part of the country because anytime something can break out there. If you want to go there, you go there at your own risk. How did we get here?
What kind of people they so?
But folks, at 9 o'clock this morning, we will talk labor matter. Mama and Papa. Why is it Mama and Papa going to work? They're not coming home with black plastic bags. Sometimes they will wait until the children sleep because they didn't get the capacity to buy biscuits and send the children the things they want. Papa got to be high in himself. The children will sleep. Papa leaves soon because the work are not paying. Not paying all. Papa then looking at slaves in their workplace. We're going into the labor sector this morning, and there can be no better person to sit with us and have a conversation than a young man, a young Liberian labor activist who's been working with other civil society groups, and they've done their own 2025 survey and study, and they've uncovered some living reality within the labor sector, the Ministry of Labor. Please encourage our corporate crowd to come and listen, because today breakfast is going to be served on his table. The shipping size of the conversation right here on Freedom 87.9, the big station. Let's bring in Hagar. Hagar, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, Abu. Good morning to you, and good morning to the Liberian people. We are here again to continue with the Liberian people's job, and we are grateful to God for the gift of life that has brought us to this day. So, yes, too many things to talk about. The Capitol building last evening, electricity. You know, we were saying it here yesterday, and some of the bad bugs were trying to defend and justify it on Facebook and all of that. But yesterday, you know, they thought to have, because of the Arsenal meta thing, so they want to inconvenience the journalists. So many of them will not have the patience to stay for their section. So as a result of that, they had to push section up to late evening hours.
Okay.
And then while they were there, 2 or 3 occasions, LEC had to go. The worst one was the one that happened late evening. You could see them sweating in a fight. There are too many things that were said there by lawmakers, and maybe we could bring some of them to the public this morning.
Now, you know, the House of Representatives thing, I follow it, and I saw the whole lighting as a distraction, right? So to speak, because guess what? These guys were poised to sign the AML amendment, right? But there was a sticky point, and that point was, and Liberian days are breaking it. I challenge any lawmaker, any representative to deny this one. This is fact. So the president has included the AML thing in his SONA.
Okay.
And you understand? So, and the president cannot speak about it when the legislative action has not been taken. So the executive had yesterday as the deadline. The agreement was they will pay $25,000 each to the lawmakers. That agreed, right? But now the bottleneck became that the executive was complaining that they do not have the money right now. They do not have the cash. It'll be like after the SONA and what have you. The guy said, no, they can't do SEPE. And you understand? So that what was dragging, and then they were making it like, oh, LEC, blah, blah, right? If the money are going to come earlier, as per my source, the guys are going to act and leave that place sooner. So they left dragging. You know how to come to the rescue? Tomo Fala. Tomo Fala is the richest man in that place. And that is the reason.
He's always stepping in.
Yeah.
When it comes to
And that
finance.
is the reason why. That is the reason why UP folks have grown disenchanted. They want to remove Kun, right? Richard Kun. And the reason is quite simple. Most UP lawmakers believe that Tomo Fala is the one running the horse. Richard Kun takes no decision without consulting Tomo Fala. In fact, Tomo Fala has to agree to anything before it happens. And the simple reason why Richard Kun does that, because Richard Kun feels Fala can remove him at any time. He has the wherewithal, the financial wherewithal, right? These are inside legislative conversations. Now, so later on, Fala agreed that, oh, okay, gentlemen, I will make it available. I will credit you guys 5,000 each, 5,000 each.
That was a conversation I'm told he had with AML's team.
No,
give
let
him
me.
the assurance
Yeah,
before.
let's say the executives and all of that. You know, Fala the way he does his thing. So Fala agreed 5,000. So I can safely say that each of those lawmakers leaving yesterday received their 5,000 or were clear that today they will receive their 5,000. At least they have to go home with something, sign, and then subsequently, when the AML money comes, then Fala will take his 5,000 from there and give the balance 20,000. This is how the guys are running the country. And they cannot argue about this. This is fact. I'm telling you this.
But similar thing happened during the CDC's administration. But then the lawmakers had to, the former president, this entire extension came under the CDC administration. But the level of credence and respect it is receiving now, it did not receive it during the Wias administration, because back
it was
then,
rejected.
yes, there were still issues that needed to be resolved. Like when it comes to the issue of the housing in Nima, the CDC administration pushed for AML to build over 500 housing units for its workers and ensure that at least safe drinking waters are provided in the entire concession area, and not just bringing Aqua Life from Monrovia to So that was the basis upon which it was downplayed and rejected at that point. But now our men know that they are so hungry and they are desperate for money. But during the CDC administration, the guys were proposing, I think, 5,000 plus a pickup. 5,000 plus a pickup to.
But the bottom line is that CDC, when they did all that thing, then the CDC they put rejected.
Yeah, they rejected it. Yeah.
So they brought it back. These other people, they didn't rejecting it. They say we'll pass it.
So
but get our 25,000. I think that's what.
So the guy said, instead of you giving us the pickup this time around, because that was the proposal from AML. Okay, we can give this 5,000 plus a pickup. So many of them never wanted, that public.
No, I don't want you to rule out the pickup thing as if to say it's not happening.
No, so from what I understood, Abu, is that they are trading the pickup for the 20K. So the 5,000 are the extra, the actual cash are supposed to come to them. But say you now want to pick up now, they will add 20K on that 5K and make it 25K. So the pickup is not guaranteed that they will receive pickups, but it is guaranteed that they will receive that 25K.
So that was exactly the issue about surrogates try to make it like, oh, it is true. Kun did not meet quorum yesterday. They had to go to executive section to do the other thing. Kun failed to meet session. But look, on Kun removal, I have it on very strong authority again. Where my Vesely Sumo, that after the Suno, Kun will be removed. So the only thing that's kind of holding Kun removal a little bit, right? Is getting a Unity Party person, right, are due enough to replace him, because it seems there is a degree of consensus, the UP folks, because the UP people want more kuna, and so they have to be sure among themselves. So my information is that they were opting to carry district number 2 representative Sekou Kane, right? But then when they reached out to Sekou declined. Sekou declined on ground, blah blah blah, and understanding his health condition, blah blah. He's not prepared and all of that. So these are conversations that they've been having. So Sekou has actually declined, right? The proposal to step in the event where Kun is removed. So among themselves, they have to identify that person first. Then before they will take the idea to the minority bloc now for conversation. But meaning that you people driving it, folks. So, Kun is living on borrowed time.
Extra time.
Yeah, that extra time they're operating on. But let's see. Anything you do, what are your move Kun say, you're safe Kun? You ain't doing nothing in that place for the Liberian people. They're gonna deal with Nima Pope and crying. AML. The other senator passing around, blah blah blah. And you're still sending it 25,000. 25,000. Nobody will eat on that 25,000. Some of you, so your Congo Banks thing, come in here and go in here, yeah, blah blah blah. Right? So children come and get a car. And so children come and get a car and blah blah blah. Right? Whole country for people to take 25,000. Then they buy one Corolla for their girlfriend.
Every year, that 1,000 they give him a minute.
Yeah, so they buy one Corolla for their girlfriend, and operate, and that's it. Imagine the country is being run that way. And I was telling somebody yesterday that look, we're in a very deep conversation, and it's important to have this conversation as well about the country. There is a serious problem here, and we have to agree. The idea that in Liberia, people will know and they will be fully aware, and yet still, in spite of their education, they will go and sit down on Stanton Witherspoon, a new convict, a convicted criminal that the whole world knows. That Liberia as a country, yet still, Stanton is paraded as a moral voice, and all the educated people in the country will still go converge. They will sit down on him, and he will be causing some of them. He will be denigrating some of them. They will still be sitting down there, right? Well, where is morality? A convicted felon, right, runs a platform. I've always said government reserve all of the right to close Stanton down, to close Stanton down. I mean, we have to uphold moral principles. We have to uphold moral principles. This is not perception. This is a fact. Okay, let's say that did not happen because we have some, guidelines on stuff. But the reaction of the country to that man will make himself feel that what he has done is condemnable, is an abomination. But no, in Liberia, the most morally condemned people are the people we can pull up. Then those who are striving to remain within the confines of principles, morals, and ethics are the one who can be tearing apart. Young people who have been brave are the one who will be finding all kinds of things to put on.
Benedict said that when he came here the last time, it was part of his parting comments. I think he was right. Like you said, and even Benedict said that in our country now, people who are saying the truth, people who are living according to moral standards, those individuals are not recognized and respected by the society. But the ones who have sold out their bellies, they are the ones that are living on lies and deception. They are the ones that people are praise sinking around here and clapping for everybody. So for me, sometimes I just feel like this work, it is a work that we decide, as we can see, they call the watchdog. So we just choose to do this and live so that posterity is going to judge us tomorrow.
So look at the irony now, Hagar, right? Like bro, we crying about criminal. Oh, the boy criminals. The boy is stealing. The healthcare system, blah blah blah. Then you go sit down under a felon, or you burn your data listening to a felon, but then you're crying about criminal, right? A convict. So pretty much tell me, there is like somebody said yesterday, 1 minute, right? There is a moral problem with the country. No, it doesn't matter education. It doesn't matter spirituality, right? Because some of the biggest spiritual people in the country, yes, still they can.
They are even part of that.
Oh yeah, they will still go and sit down on these people.
So somebody was telling me yesterday, Abu, the opposition should get ready now for Stanton. Stanton is picking up a fight to attack the opposition, and that is only because UP folks have been getting to him, want to buy him, want to bring him back, and then the only problem they are having is they can't come back when the spoon talk is still having people from other political parties that will ask them the critical questions. As you know, Gray and others are on that platform, and sometimes the UP folks feel like coming on that platform when you have people like Gray and other opposition members, it will put them in an unsafe position. So now, how can Stanton get these guys out? When he yet do it mutually, it will signal some concern out there in the public. So what he's intending to do now is, like, I think somebody said he started with George Weah last night. Always he has decided now to get to attack all the political leaders, especially people who got their people. So but George Weah, the Cummings, the people. So he will do it. He'll push you and put you in a position that you yourself feeling uncomfortable, that you yourself will leave the
listen. I don't want us to even dignify that thing, right? My argument is, whoever he wants to talk to, the fact that the society puts him in that position where, and he can even move between, and places. It is the society that's creating that. That is a societal problem. He likes to talk about this person today. He likes to talk about that person. But why are we creating the platform as a society? Why are we creating the platform for the most bankrupt people? Character-wise, moral-wise, integrity-wise. People that have been condemned to the highest level, right? And it is not only limited to Stanton, right? Look at Dillon, a pathological liar, an established liar. Yes, still you have some prelates in the country. They look up to Dillon, an established liar. They look up to him for leadership. I mean, pretty much tell me, where in the world is it happening?
So and they will sit. They will look up to people like Dillon, and then when they go to the
some
church,
got PhD, right? Some people went to some of the best schools in the world. Yes, still, right? Understanding the character erosion with the likes of Dillon. Yes, still, right? They go ahead and they heal these people.
For me, Abu, I just think our issue in our country here is not about education. It's not about religion or whatever. It is only about lack of civilization.
Whatever is that, what we need to think about now. There has to be a deep dive into understanding the moral, issues. I don't know. The bar is so low in Liberia.
We've not set a standard.
Let's look at Costa, for example. Almost everybody know Costa is a black male. I mean, there's record to see that, and Costa himself has not run away from that. That's his act. That's his trick. But yes, still, all the big people in the country, president, this, blah blah blah.
Still see him as
who do they run to? Costa. So, what is the inevitable, moral lesson to the young folks? That these are the paths that you have to pursue to be recognized in Liberia, to be considered, and of course, to be promoted. So when that happened, what's really happening? it is further eroding whatever moral position we had as a country. It's leaving us, and that is the reason why you see the likes of Prophet Key, right? Who insults women and almost all of the prominent women in this country he has denigrated. But Prophet Key is not the one. Liberians. And but guess what? The very Liberians that hold the church on Sunday morning and go to church, and those ones that go to mosque on Friday,
they're the ones supporting God.
They are the ones. So you see, when people be talking, and this is what you have to come to. What is Liberia's problem? That is the new path. That is the path. And the country, either knowingly or unknowingly, they're giving credence to these attitudes in the country. So the young folks coming up, they see who gets popular faster. You see, recently,
and how that person gets popular.
Let's look at the musical arena, right? Recently, these guys, Crystal then went low key, and then Crystal have made a very a rude song lately, right? And it is trending everywhere. It's playing. People are playing it. So there is a problem. Then it comes back to the church, to the mosques. It comes back to the societal, the traditional societal organizations. Trainings. There is something happening in Liberia, and people are not focusing on that age. There is no real training happening in our homes, not even in the church or in the mosques. People know. It seems people are more.
In fact, parents are living by the terrible example, and their children are copying from that. So you will see a mother in the home. She dressed naked, and she have a girl child with her there. And that girl child will dress similarly like the mother.
Not only dressed naked, but she has a boyfriend.
And in fact, she will be saying that late child to her boyfriend.
So what lesson are you teaching that child? Go out to have a boyfriend, even if you're married in the home.
So the
child, you think the children are very smart though. They can know, right? They can know. So all the dirty thing that you've been doing, that will coming out, everything coming out, the whole country, you're looking. I mean, just look at Liberia. Look at Liberia. Just look at the place, and you know.
No moral.
Nothing. Everything you got more church. Why you can't close all the church?
Even in politics, if you want to be the fan favorite, the citizens' favorite, you must get involved into lies. You must come
lies
with
and Marcos and the moment we decide to start doing Marcos and Parcos, you see every corner they'll be discussing it, and we will never do that. We will never do that. We understand how to radically disagree with people, but to come here and be causing people, man, people, pa, nobody. You will not have us to do that. Well, you got to be going, causing women, going under women for what? Right? Let the man that's known, and when I listen to Brother Costa brag that I am the only man that sits behind my phone for 2 hours, and you have this number of people, they will be glued, they will be, what it's missing? He's blackmailing, he's misinforming, he's disinforming, but yet the people go for it.
Comfortable going there.
They feel okay, right? The fact that the man conversation about the issues are always personalized, and it's like, okay, I'm armed to go after this person, so I'm coming for this person today, right? Once upon a time, this same Costa man sat behind a phone and said that the justice minister was weak and needed to be dismissed and blah, blah, blah. You're responsible for this. That same man comes back, sat behind the same phone and telling the world and hearing the justice minister and telling the president, say, oh, listen to the justice minister. What kind of society? People under the life there who always follow him are not able to
checkmate him and bring it back to his senses. No. They will not tell you, say, you said this before. And you are saying something, they sense to even say, but there is something wrong somewhere. Especially when Costa said something, oh yeah, that man was the worst person. And the reason why Costa said he was the worst still exists. But at this point now, you see Costa coming back to praise the very same man, even though the reasons that he gave before still exist. But the very same people that supported Costa when he called the justice minister criminal and whatever, the most terrible justice minister in the history of the country, the very same people that are on there praising Costa when Costa came back and started praising the justice minister, their concern was not even about what the man said something terrible before and now he's saying this. They did not even have that mind to analyze and understand for themselves. But no, they jump behind Costa too. They start praising the justice minister. So as a result, you always make people, you make heroes out of people who should be considered nothing. If the country that so in a Syria mother country, too many persons in the country not even supposed to have even 10 persons as their follower on Facebook.
So look at what we do here, right? And trust me, if this was somewhere else, and sometimes we've spoken with a lot of our friends in other countries, and they will be like, "Oh, gentlemen, taking some bold steps and all of that," and they'll even be worrying things and what have you. But we don't get. Sometimes you feel like we don't get the audience that these morally bankrupt people will get most times. Absolutely not. We don't. You know why? In spite of our critical stance, we still enjoy the safety to move in areas because our conversations are now personalized. And we don't come here. Nobody will feel okay being insulting their man. Mm-hmm. What in government accountability get to do with grabbing somebody's man and be causing the person man? Right? So we don't need to walk with bodyguards, but Key needs to walk with that. When Key walks in the street, 1 minute, right? Key walks in the street, the whole place, everybody will be. And then you go ask, who is this man? Maybe a foreigner is standing there. Who is this man that the people following? Oh, they man can be on social media and be causing, cause all the women and be causing them out. And then that person will be like, oh, is that the reason people were? Mm-hmm. I thought people would be condemning this kind of person. But rather in Liberia, no, people don't condemn morally bankrupt people. People heal them. People give them the biggest platform. They have access to the presidency, right? Costa, Key, they have access to the presidency. The people who were intelligent, the people who were smart, the people who were respectful, they will struggle to see the president and his wife. But Key can walk on the podium and the wife will be laughing. The first lady will be happy, hugging him, shaking his hand, embracing. Where we are, folks. We just thought to talk about this a little bit, and so to remind all of us that look, there is trouble in this country, and we have to be worried.
What our country is facing is a system problem. That's why you see, even in elections, Liberians don't go for the reality. So somebody said, the CDC made efforts in infrastructure development across the country. But they got voted out because the people say that's who they wanted. And then at this point, those guys are not doing absolutely nothing. But because they are good in lying and they know that Liberians go for fake people, they go for lies and go for or those moral issues that have broken down, that the things they find interest in. So they continue to lie to the public. And now Liberians have not even gravitated to that point that to make themselves sophisticated enough so that when Hager says something behind this microphone, they are able to investigate, do their own fact findings, and judge Hager by what he has said or what he said. No, they will not do it. But once you say that you lie, anything you thought, they both run with it. And that's how this government is running. Because they know that Liberians, nobody can go do justification. Nobody can go pie around to do investigation. They say, oh, what that man said, what that was lie, that was this, that was no. So anything that man sit down on the radio and just say about anybody or say, Liberian people will grab it and they move by it. And that's how you see today we are to where we are, because development were all around in the country. Liberians did not see it, but they went for the lies that were told. And this is where we are today.
Okay, so this is where we are. Let's see quickly. I want to just the incident yesterday at the 72nd area. Just want to let you know that, of course. Okay, so it says AFL reclaims abandoned 72nd barracks in Pinsville. Resident seeks extension. I mean, they're asking for more time. Because from what I heard yesterday, I think it was a 2-week ultimatum. And I've also been able to confirm that it is a presidential mandate. It is a presidential order that the people should be vacated. I confirmed this from a very high level source within the armed forces of Liberia. Yeah, very, very well placed. So the armed forces of Liberia has successfully reclaimed its long abandoned barracks located in the 72nd community, of Pinsville, ending years of dispute over the military property. The facility, commonly referred to as the 72nd Barracks and known locally as part of the Camp Ramrod or 72nd Junction area, is an aging military installation under the jurisdiction of the AFL. The site had been occupied by civilians for years amid unresolved land ownership and enforcement challenges. So on yesterday, the folks moved in and they moved in to reclaim the property. I can't say and agree with this publication that they have successfully reclaimed it, because they have actually infenced the place, right? And they've given some 2 weeks ultimatum to residents to leave, I believe. And there was no resistance. I mean, there was no any kind of resistance. I think the army folks went very prepared, and there were people positioned with arms and all of that, and so there was no way for any kind of disruption and what have you. So this is exactly where we are now. It brings about the question as to the timing, at a time when most people are actually losing their jobs. Some have retired. For many years, they have invested. Some the last saving they used to secure parcel of land and put a structure on it. They are there with their children, and they have no other means. Times are hard, right? And then they're going to be rendered homeless without any prior notice, so that they will make adequate preparation, right? So almost abruptly, the government is moving in to remove them. And like you know, the government is powerful. And they've said that it is the army land. And these conversations has been from regime to regime. And now the president has instructed the army to move in and reclaim the place, according to what we've heard. So we can say anything, but what becomes of the people?
Mhm.
Is the government considering anything for the people? But precedent shows that absolutely not. The government is not most likely going to do anything for these people, because in the Hotel Africa area, we saw people
nothing.
homes were demolished. They pleaded for compensation. There were no guarantee for compensation. I know there was some political intervention made later on by the representative there, that which he traded for his support to the minority black, right? He had to trade that for a minority black. He said, oh yeah, we'll give you small fees, you go and then you take glory. And then, so he has been dealing with the regime for the most part. That's why you see he is an opposition lawmaker, but looks like a regime a lawmaker. And that's how he has been fronting for illegitimate companies like LTM, right? So most of Blue actions now have been against the people, because the government, he had to agree in principle with the government, so that whatever intervention they're making in District 17, they will carry him and make him to appear like some kind of hero, and mediating and stuff. Because when he's on the other side, when they move in there and do it, he'll get unpopularized. So these are the compromises that they can make. But at the end of the day, the very Liberian people that are suffering these things and we are exposing it to them will still go dance behind these people. That is the frustration. They will still go and dance behind these people and stuff. So I have to say, they do not worth talking for, in fact. Sometimes that's how it comes, right? This is a country where you sacrifice. Let's look at, I don't even want us to dwell on the much, but just in passing, this whole thing about Clive Foundation, that the government is so desperate, and the first lady today is so desperate to reclaim, and there are people out there having conversation about, that the country money, blah, 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 and they're saying all sort of things about a very, very beautiful character, right? with a kind heart, and now that have invested such a massive infrastructure in the country and is catering to Liberians' children, the very children that you born that you are unable to take care of, that you abandon. Your children have become wayward and they're on the street. This lady who you think is not a Liberian has that heart of a gold to come to this country and say, right, my goal is to establish a care facility to bring these abandoned children and our dignity to them and give them a life in the future. And she's doing that diligently and, of course, in a very dignified manner, providing computer literacy for them. They're eating 3 times a day. The conditions under which they're in school is so ideal and, of course, upgraded more than somebody living in a regular Liberian home. This is the woman. But then, in a country that's supposed to, it's a country where the people are supposed to be appreciative of that, right? That is the same country
to the action.
Even though it is their children benefiting, they're not Jamaican people going there, right? Liberian children. The very children that they born, right? That they use their front part, they born. That the children they abandon, they ain't want to take care of. They're passing around. They abandon the children. The streets are overwhelmed with abandoned kids. Say, okay, I will take few of them, the ones, and I'll keep improving by the support I'll keep getting. What you got to go do to disrupt that one? When you disrupt that kind of thing, you put politics into it, you're affecting these children. You're most likely saying that these children will go back. Does Katumo has the connect? Does Katumo have the capacity to attract funding to sustainably run that place? Absolutely not. Who is Katumo? Who knows her? Not even Liberia. What's her network? What's the worth of her network to attract anything meaningful to sustain and run that place like it is? Can Katumo run that place in 1 week? She'll start crying that government ain't giving her money. She'll start complaining that the people, Ministry of Finance, ain't sending other money. Because, of course, you have to come rely on the government to run a place. Like, why are we not thinking? We're so extremely hateful to the point where even the things that benefit us most, right? We hate them. This is the reason why I don't even like to. Completely absurd for the people to look at a welfare initiative benefiting none other but the people themselves, and yesterday they go against it. So technically, you are satanic because these children are being given life and dignified life. You're against that. So you want that to be disrupted and the children will go back to being beggars. And you take pride in politicizing and using their story as a political message to sell your political agenda. Oh, the beggars in the street, blah, blah, blah. But what proactive actions have you taken, successive government, first lady after first lady? What have anybody, any Liberian done substantive enough that can be equated to the Cloud Hope Foundation effort to redeeming abandoned Liberian kids and dignifying their lives, that tomorrow they can come in the society and compete with all of us and our kids? What have we done? Have you visited the place there? Have you not? There's no trace that this is government money, right? This country has a serious problem. Serious problem. It go across. People are just envious. They're ungrateful. They're hateful. They're mean. That's who they are. That's the actual nature of most of you. There are some very decent people in this country, very good people, appreciative people. They like good things. But most of you, what you like to do is to sit in your unproductive corner, right? And start to ask unnecessary, irresponsible questions about people who are making real-time life impact in the society. And you are so unproductive. You're from a generation of no value to this country. You're a complete liability. Your mom she didn't do nothing for anybody. Your pa can't do nothing. You yourself living the same life, but all you're able to do, you sit down in places and be talking, but where the person get the money from? How the person, right? Because you are so lazy and you think because you cannot make anything happen, so nobody can make anything happen. And when anybody make anything happen, that means the person stole. This is so sad. It's a sad reality here, guys.
So, Abu, you could not have said it any better than you did. And it is terrible how it sounds out there. Because looking at the Cloud Hope Foundation that has been here contributing to the upbringing of Liberian kids. Katumu became First Lady on January 18, 2024. Since then, what has been the concrete action that Katumu have ever taken to give hope to Liberians? She's the First Lady. Okay, Katumu used her office as, let's say, Claudia used her office as First Lady. Today, Clara had that opportunity for 6 years. Katumu got that opportunity for 6 years too as well. What has Katumu done in this country to give hope to Liberians? Even Christmas before, under the First Lady, Liberian children could come from there with smiles. Under Katumu, like $50 pack on she put in cold plastic and gave children. Oh yes, that the kind of mockery they want to make out of their children. They feel comfortable when these things are happening.
Keep them as beggars.
They use your kids, they use your living condition as a basis for soliciting support out there. And when they get this support, they don't use it in your interest. But you look at a lady who her son, let her take herself from there, or take her husband from there, her son is a millionaire. You question what has Katumu done? Katumu was working for Samaritan Purse in Bomi County, building hand pumps. You know the Samaritan Purse involved in building hand pumps. I'm gonna tell you how many times she requested for kickbacks from residents in that area before she can carry hand pump there. Oh yes, y'all won't all reach that point. We thought to give her free space. But if y'all want us to reach to a point where we start questioning her past, y'all feel terrible about the lady you call First Lady in the country today. What? For 12 years
Somebody
to be First Lady, what has she done that you think is able to give hope? That area over there, even if the former First Lady decides, let me just give it and just let it be, I just give it out, that place could turn to another dust bin tomorrow, another trash can. This is the lady who said she became First Lady. She have not done nothing for this country. The only thing she could do that to go pour a picture on bear sheet to carry to a clinic. Is that the kind of person you're fighting around here? And like Abu said, things that benefit Liberians, they don't see it important because of hate. Only because when it is not them, it should not be somebody else. That crap mentality. So long as that me, at the First Lady, that me doing it, she will not do it. So even if they will fight to get it over and just break it down, oh yes, they'll be comfortable when that school is not running, when children are not there, when that place is just standing over there dirty. They'll feel comfortable, and that's what they want. You think they want it because they want to take care of it?
But guess what? So that the public don't get confused. They have no legitimate grounds to reclaim it. Everything they're doing is political, because we've had conversation at the highest level, and we have the assurance that we have the documents to talk about it. After the show, I'll make some outreach, right? They have no legitimate grounds. They're using clear politics. But this is a case where the society is supposed to rise up and say, no. We brought you to get up more than this. You're not able to get all this. Then you can't fight for the one that we condemn. No. Bring something better than it. That's what the society is supposed to be demanding. This thing here is not for profit making. All the children going there that free.
Nobody paying for
the food they're eating there that free. And the computer school they're going to that free.
Why you get to your Bwaka Foundation?
Correct. She's not making profit out of it. But on the other hand, Bwaka Foundation Baka Foundation go take the University of Lofa money, right? Look at them. Your own pie now, you know how to talk. Go take, you know the reason why Poda they won't prosecute Poda in Lofa? Because if you do, Poda took money, give to Baka Foundation. Baka Foundation go buy medical equipment, go to Telewinyo and go give it in Baka Foundation name.
Tractors were given in this country. It passed through the Baka Foundation today on from a Baka
Foundation goes to places, they take money from the country called, I say, oh, the Baka Foundation, give it to them. Then they go and pretend they buy something, they say, oh, Baka Foundation. Where are they getting money from? They see Liberian people money. So, you know, we can have conversations about these, but this is it. It's clear, right? And it's going nowhere. If you think your action is to demoralize, to diminish George Weah popularity or fame, you're wasting your time.
Even giving George Weah.
Once George Weah is breathing inside OSA, right? George Weah still remain your biggest nightmare, and he will remain your biggest nightmare. Once George Weah appear on a ballot paper, he will flog you like market dog. He will beat you inside OSA. There is nothing you can do about that. That is your greatest fear. And these are the things that's panicking you, that you're doing all kinds of things. You think we're not aware that you can go Sierra Leone, you take Liberian people money, give it, and tell police people to get to you to come stand and do as backup force, right? So that means you won't bring war to the country, right? When you're about to take some of your unconstitutional actions, then you go Sierra Leone, they give some Kamajo policemen and they come, you put them somewhere. Where? We're getting all this intelligence, right? So what's your intention? What's your motive? But anyway, while we are talking all of that thing, Liberian people, the U.S. government issued this thing, and we'll read it and open the phone lines and hear from you on these conversations. So, guys, they're very, very important. And so, for us, we'll talk. At the end of the day, we'll talk. And all we pray for is just the opportunity to live and be able to see the next day and come here and do the job that we like to do for our people. You get it, right? I sent it to you. Okay, let me send it to you. Let me send it to you. So this was issued in December, right? This advisory was issued in December, and it was for 2026. So just to let you know, level 2 travel advisory in this country we're in. So if you want to buy some additional Becquerel, you buy additional Becquerel, you keep it. Because we know people get ability to get intelligent more than you and myself. How is in our house, people may even get information on it we do not know, right? So after all of the assessment across the country during the course of 2025 and everything, and projecting for the ensuing year, right? I sent it to you here, put it on the screen. I sent it on your WhatsApp. Right? So for the ensuing year, just know that what is going to happen here. Okay. 1 minute. They both been doing all their studies. So when we're talking America, that can be all looking or trying to be rude. And whether you like it or not, America is the world's greatest power. Whether you feel comfortable about it or not, whether you won't call someone or, and what kind of need at your business. But America is the world's greatest power. By everything. Me, I don't want to waste my time on that alone. Travel advisory level 2. Exercise increased caution. Telling the rest of the world, when you go on the people page, right? Official website of the United States government. This is published on the official website of the United States government. When you go there, you will see this advisory to the world that exercise increased caution in 2026. This is where our country has come. These are the same advisory that can be issued for Iran and Iraq then. And terrorist country there, right? Mm-hmm. Places there where they get tension, they get war, anything can break up and stuff, the poor people under a light. Travel advisory Liberia, December 2025, about U.S. mission Liberia right? December 11, 2025. There was, okay, on the play there, so you read it from down there. It's on the screen for those are our friends.
There was no change to the advisory level. The health risk indicator was added.
There was no change to 2024.
Advisory summary was updated. Travel advisory Liberia level 2 exercise increased caution. C crimes. U unrest, and H health. Exercise increased caution in Liberia.
So these are the three critical areas of insecurity in Liberia. Crime, unrest, that's about vandalism, protestation, uprising, demonstration, and all of these things, and health. So there's a health crisis in Liberia, there's unrest issue, there is crime, increased level of crime and criminality in the country. This is what the U.S. government have said. Go further, my brother.
Exercise increased caution in Liberia due to crime, unrest, and health. Advisory summary. Crime. Violent crimes such as armed robbery are common in urban areas, crowded markets, and public beaches. Local police lack the resources to respond effectively to serious crimes.
Okay, that's on the first note, right? Crimes. And you are in the community. You know the level of armed robbery and how it has, increased. Money changers along the roadside. Right now, people can come out the way they used to come out 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning. No. Everybody waiting for the roadside to get jam-packed before they can come outside. It never used to be like this in Liberia. And the U.S. have equally taken notice, and they've said that there is increased crime and armed robbery in the country, especially in urban area. Monrovia, Ganta, Kakata, Tubman-Bray, Buchanan, these urban areas in the country, crime have surged. That's the report on Liberia. Go ahead.
If traveling outside the capital city of Monrovia, try to finish your trip during daylight hours. It is safer to avoid travel at night due to safety and security concerns.
Okay, go ahead.
Unrest. Demonstrations occur regularly. They have on occasions resulted in violence or use of tear gas by authorities. Large-scale demonstrations related to the local political situation may occur with little notice.
That is on
demonstration
unrest, right?
Demonstration may disrupt transportation and other essential services.
So what this will mean ultimately, the government has taken some terrible political decision, and the heavy-handed approach in the country has got the propensity to inform or ignite some unannounced agitation or political protest that you will not know will come from anywhere. So we're advising you be cautious enough while in Liberia, because the situation is such that without any notice, you could just be caught between. So be very cautious in where you go, how long you stay there. Always look over your shoulder, right? Large-scale demonstrations related to local political situation may occur with little notice, right? You've gone ahead, you've taken serious political actions against people, extreme political actions, incriminating people for the wrong reasons, using state institutions to derail people's character, right? Reducing the level of confidence and protection in the people about the government, alienating a vast majority of the people. So the U.S. government is practically saying the possibility for any kinds of mass demonstration to take place is possible and is likely, and it could happen without any notice. So if you're coming to Liberia or you're in Liberia, be cautious of these facts. As you're going, when you leave in your house, you go places, remember to go back soon, or don't delay, don't waste time, don't frequent around public area, public gatherings and stuff. Always move on there. Anything could sparkle. Go ahead, Higa.
The health infrastructure in Liberia is inadequate. Health services, hygiene, and quality control do not meet U.S. standards of care. Pharmacies are not well regulated. Locally available medications may be unsafe. Medical services for routine and emergency procedures are limited. Health facilities are available in major cities. It may be harder to find adequate health care in rural areas. Public medical clinics lack public resources and supplies.
This is where we are. And this is one of the most critical. For people, that means if all the investment in tourism and the tourism sector is a waste of public money. Because who's going to come here that when you have little emergency, you can't trust the medical system. You can't even trust the medicine on the market. What the U.S. government is saying that Joseph Boakai government, the medicine that they bring in the country are fake drugs. So be cautious. Don't take the medicine. Maybe when you come into Liberia, if you want to take the risk to go to Liberia, buy your medication and put it in your bag. Don't trust public medical facility. Don't go there. The government not putting money in the place, right? And of course, the pharmacies in Liberia are not regulated properly. There are corruptions, there are compromises, so they're bringing illicit drugs. Look, the shelves of the pharmacies. This portrayal is damning. This portrayal is bad. The image of Liberia is being destroyed. Whether you like it or not, this is the worst projection of Liberia's image to the world. This thing is serious. You may take it for a joke, make politics out of it, but this is real, right? And this is the reality that you can't argue. Your hair can be hurting. You go in a pharmacy, you buy paracetamol, you take it, stay your hair, stay hurting. You have to take several. When you go to the pharmacy today, you say your hair hurting, you want medicine, they will pack different medication and give it to you. What for? Back then, when you buy one pharmacy, when you buy one paracetamol, you go home, you're okay. But today, they will pack paracetamol, they will give you B complex, they will give you the other one, they give you other Nigerian medicine, the papa, your bill will go all the way to 900. Just to treat headache. We open the phone line, you tell me that lie. When you just go, you say my stomach running, right? I want something to regulate my system anyway. They will pack plenty of medicine, your bill will go. So the pharmaceutical operations, because of the lack of regulations, they're more extortive and all of that. Health infrastructure in Liberia is inadequate. Health services, hygiene, and quality control do not meet U.S. standards of care. When you go into hospitals, facilities, especially when you leave urban Liberia, you go health infrastructure, they're inadequate. Even the ones that are there, government not funding it. You remember the last time, even Emory Hospital that was brought to this country, right? They're not funding it. The place, the hygiene condition of the area has deteriorated. Go to JFK, visit the bathrooms. And the people are right. These are facts. Even as we're talking now, somebody is in the bathroom, they're hissing the teeth. Right? Pharmacies are not well regulated. Oh, yeah, of course. Compromises. Pharmaceutical companies are bribing their way. Look at the pharmacy board. You're having corruption there. The delay in producing license and all of that, you got to go through. You will pay for 2026 license at the pharmaceutical board, right? You will receive the license way in December of 2026. And then you enter 2027. Yeah. Medical services, for routine and emergency procedure are limited. Yesterday, what were we talking? In fact, it's not even limited now, but it's cut off. It's cut off. The anesthetists at the laboratories of public health facilities have cut off their own strike. The government has not intervened to have them go back. So you get emergency in Liberia, you on your own. The U.S. government is telling you. Public medical clinics lack basic resources and supplies. When you go to the pharmacy in public medical facility, you see dust all over the place. The place is dirty. You know the medications are almost expired or expired. They're there. This is the picture. How our country is at the lowest. And the guys are running the country on Facebook. They're playing politics. They go on Facebook. They say, but these are the structural breakdown that's happening with Liberia since Boubacar became president.
And Abu, we were talking about security. There's this video here that I want us to just. So yesterday in Red Light, there was a fire incident.
Mm-hmm.
And at that scene, there were Liberians who were there. But guess what?
Mm-hmm.
They did not go there to help save that area, to help cut off the fire. But guess what? They went there to loot. So you see how it has become unsafe for even the government in terms of security. There is this video. Maybe for those of you watching on the internet, this is it.
People looting the people
The entire store.
People looting. One the people era on fire. People looting.
So say liar can say my winning. This is what they. This is what we do. Looting.
They are not helping.
And what did they release?
People looting. One the people era on fire. People looting.
Say what? I mean, right? Looting is a form of robbery, right? Armed robbery are common in urban areas, crowded markets, and public beaches. Local police lack the resources to respond effectively to serious crime. This is what we are talking about. You see, any police go there to first class all the time before to rent it out to company. But you thought they want to say, oh, the politics, say, oh, the rescue. You're seeing that the country going down. People destroying the country. You're saying, you're making it in the Lord that we have been. And so we have been. Look, this is all happening to last week. Where is more enforcement? People stealing. The attitude. Country. This is
they cannot take some
and the state is doing nothing about it. That's a breakdown. Guys, man, the other day, just lay eviction in the red light area. There was breakdown in law enforcement. You saw police posts standing, giving ordinary people, giving them racks and things. Go throw stone. What kind of civil country you can see that one in? Policemen telling the man, say, oh, y'all go fire, y'all go turn rack.
Uganda.
Petrol bomb. Right? These are the things happening. So the U.S. is warning travelers to Liberia that be careful. That place is almost like on-time bomb. Because when these kinds of hostile gangster attitudes are happening, like what we see in Haiti, then it is a cause for concern. But is the government paying attention to these things? Absolutely not. Government and senior officials and high-ranking members of the Unity Party government today are more focused on what they can get from these bogus concessions that they continue to fight each other over. Whether it's the Oranto deal, whether it's the port, the port deal, whether it is what else, right? That's what they're fighting over. Whether it's the APM, the accelerometer deal, and these crimes, increased crime. Local police lack the capacity to respond, right? Gregory, the small equipment are there. Gregory gave it to the police to run after political opponents. and of course take deployment at concession and businesses of foreigners and get their monthly kickback. This is the truth and this is the reality. Now, what do we think, right? Our call to the president is, Mr. President, put your feet down. Mr. President, this country here, you became president of this country because you believe you had a vision and that you wanted to deliver. And Mr. President, this is the opportunity. Your chance is being abused and people are taking advantage. Liberia is on the brink of degenerating into something that our partners are warning. Mr. President, put your feet down. Stop listening to partisan rhetorics. You see, Mr. President, we come here, we are yelling, and people sit around and say, oh, these kids, oh, these kids. Mr. President, that is not the issue. Mr. President, listen to the substance of what we are saying. These concerns we are raising, they are coming from across the country. The reports we can read here, Mr. President, we are not the author. These are the picture of how Liberia is under your watch. And history will remember you. I think it's in South Korea also. And this is to Gregory Coleman, right? There was a situation in that country, and the then president issued a martial law that was illegally done, right? The prime minister has been sentenced to over 20 years imprisonment, right? For his attempt to legitimize because he convened parliament during the process. So he's been held. So if a wrongful action is being implemented, and then you use your office to give credence to that, tomorrow you will be held accountable. To those of you in power, those of you holding public offices and thinking that you have arrived, remember, public offices are offices of accountability no matter how long. You abuse power, you suppress the people, tomorrow you will not be there, you will be vulnerable. The people that are giving you all of the support now and say, oh yeah, yeah, you're the man, you're doing that. You know you're violating human rights. You know you're abusing the law, you're abusing privilege and authority. Even people within the police know that what you are doing, in fact, there are complaints that you reduce that place to politics area. These will be the witnesses against you tomorrow. When you get the instruction to follow, you will be held. People who let Gregory Yotto doing. I know they say some of we are critics and stuff, so they call all kind of name the poor, but we are real. No matter how long, I told one other UP apologist, right? That look, you can come and claim 6 years, 12 years. I say, even you like say 24 years, the war will not end after 24 years. You agree with me, right? Mm-hmm. The war will not end after 24 years, and after that, you will stay account. You want to live a life. It's almost like the salvation that we are seeking. You want to live a decent life so that tomorrow, right, the work will speak for you and your hereafter will be guaranteed and you have peace. But you also want to live a life in public service that when you leave tomorrow, right, you're proud of your record. You're able to defend your record when they're placed before you. But you won't live in public service, right, that you're doing everything today, you're enjoying, but tomorrow you worry about how your tomorrow will be, that you cannot even explain, and you start to find issues. You think Liberia will remain like this? Or you think when you get rid of John Weir, then Liberia will be finished? No, you will not know until the day power turns hands. And sometimes you may even be thinking, say, John Weir is the worst man. But it will shock you to know that somebody else, and not George Weah, that could come after you, right, will hold all of you accountable for these hideous crimes and violations and the degradation that you're bringing to the reputation of Liberia. And you call yourself rescue people. Let's take calls. And our guests will soon be here.
0776 104 104 086 5 are the numbers. You can call us on here this morning and be a part of the conversation on Freedom 87.9. 0776 104 104 086 500 104 are the numbers. Let's begin taking your calls right now, starting up with this. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Auntie.
Morning. This is now us.
Yeah, I wish let's say later from calling from Baba Motogo. Thank you for the show, Baba. Baba, we just listening like Baba, like Baba Syria. Last night, I listened to the city, all the way last night, I listened to the show. That brother said, the national line, what you're saying, the post and lab is stupid now. Every day, people need to go and people and go and protest. The post seen it with a apple, the legal, internet. But we cannot put what is so I will share it. That's what you all long life. And the grace of inshallah, that's what you all long life. They will pay for everything they do to all. And do that, just see the body thing and all that thing, they will not go through, they will not go on point.
That's a complete breakdown.
They for a. Let me tell you, Abu Sherry.
Thank you.
Thank you for the show. But I got people here.
0776 104 104 086 500.
Everywhere. Look at the other headline. Look at the other headline. A hungry nation. Front page. Look at. Liberia ranks low on global hunger index, retains severe hunger status with 30 schools. Sit down. So what you're doing now? All day you're making it. You gotta go after the job. You gotta do that. You gotta go for Finabono. You know, you lack the capacity to feed your people, to protect your people, right? You're not protecting. The U.S. government say Liberia not safe. That means the government has failed on protecting the country, right? The global hunger index say Liberia. The people hungry, the children dying. About 40% of the children before they reach 5 years old, they can die for hunger because there is malnutrition in the country. Is that a responsible government? Do you take pride in that? You are unable to feed your people. You are able to protect your people, right? And robbers stealing happening for common. Look at maybe the place they were looting that's on a foreign business. That person can't invest. They agree fire catch a place now. But they're using that opportunity adjacent stores that they should be helping to quench the fire so that it doesn't reach there. They're going in these places and they're stealing the people thing. Same thing we're talking about mentality and mindset. There's a breakdown. Does the system cares? No. All Baka cares is, and this is why you see the president bought a $2.7 million bulletproof car. So the president mostly concerned about his personal security. He doesn't care about what happened to the rest of us.
Let's talk to this person. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Okay, thank you. My name is Festus. I'm calling from Owners Government Town. I want to appreciate you for your program this morning. I listened to all of your analysis, all of what you read. But first of all, let's understand one thing, please, that Nigeria doesn't produce trust. I do agree with you that pharmacy book, yes, myself got you pharmacy book because I got a couple of drugstores around town. Pharmacy book, to issue a license, that becomes a serious problem, and which I don't know where to run.
Right? What happens is people infiltrate the process. People infiltrate unregulated drugs. They can come from anywhere, right? It can come from Nigeria. It can come from anywhere. Anywhere unscrupulous people can sit down and fix and say that drugs.
Let me proceed now, brother. I'm saying, I just want to say, make this clear that Nigeria is not producing drugs. I agree that drugs can come everywhere, even Liberia, drugs can come from Liberia and go to any other country around here, which I agree. I got to just agree that. I agree with that. And we're going to pharmaceutical, I was saying, the issue of pharmaceutical, we all understand that, and we know our experiences, and that, and the problem from the pharmaceutical, I'm not defending this government or other government, I'm not a politician either, but then I'm making it understand that pharmaceutical issue are just, old age problem. So that, actually, even we are Liberian people, we should put our feet on the ground to see how better those things can be resolved. And I agree that you just brought out, about the issue of the country not being safe when it comes to the issue of drugs. Yes, you are saying that fine. So my question now is, even you now that over there, where do you take treatment? Where do you and your family take treatment? Because even George Weah have not put anything into place like that. So we are saying that because we are also saying it to ourselves and to our people. So my point is, when we are saying things here, I beg you, let's be very exact and unique on what we say and be sincere to what we say. That's the situation. Thank you this morning.
All right. I really don't understand anything from him. Let's talk to this person. Morning.
Hello?
You live, go ahead.
I'm calling, I think it's Thomas calling from the Gotham. Let me tell you guys for all of you because this time. But let me see.
At least he say the reason you don't get in current if they say the wire trip somewhere, yeah. They say the
No,
wire trip.
current.
Hey, Baba, I'm talking to you, Baba. People been going through that in current, yeah.
Because you're talking last one, how to talk to the
I mean, tell that man off. Get all you think that you paying for.
Yeah,
You think you paying for somebody owe you.
Good morning, hey guys. I'm Big Brother, and good morning to the veteran Abu.
Morning.
Yeah, thank you.
Yesterday, we let one out to RIA and all. Capital Building, let one, and then you say, current, yeah. That you were talking to.
Like
What happened, yeah?
This morning about money. And I want to say thank you. I wonder why is this lady called Madam Morris? No medication in the hospital will harmonize your food. You are thinking that song for a kind of unrealistic perspective. Now that it's clearing that even somewhere in Latino, I'm saying that the medical situation in Latino is bad. I want you to think that still quiet.
All right.
All
right. Yeah, please. Time. Let's talk to morning.
Good morning, how are you guys?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. I've been following you people, and I think the conversation is not just necessary, but it's necessarily necessary. The country is not just a report. You know, we all on the ground. The country is on the brink of chaos. The level of pressure for insecurity and instability in the country is mammoth, is huge. Unemployment is at its peak. Massive insecurity. Not just police brutality, but mysterious death. The level of hunger in the country, the level of death rate, whether mysterious, whether a childbirth, it's just huge. Look, a country that is hungry is prone to chaos.
That's correct.
I can tell you that for sure.
Hungry man and angry man.
Hello?
Go ahead.
Yeah, it creates insecurity. What do I mean by that? When someone hungry, the potential for stealing. Just keep a child hungry in the house and have the food on the table. He will take the piece of the soup. Just wash it or the boning. He will take something out. It's hungry. There's a potential for insecurity. Armed robbery could be on the increase. Extortion could be on the increase. All form burglary could be on the increase.
Okay.
Besides that, even prostitution could be the increase.
Exactly.
Whether male or female. These are existing indicators for a country that has a high degree of unemployment, a country that does not have a high degree of unemployment, but the country is hungry. That's why when people want to make a comparative analysis, sometimes I laugh. What is Joseph Boyka's specialization if you want to argue about we have specialization in sport? Boyka's specialization is in the field of the redemption of hunger. Has he been able, after 14 years, to resolve this problem? Because he was 12 years vice president. Now he's 2 years president. What is the agriculture policy and its implementation? What has been done to alleviate, to allay? Nothing. Zero. Okay. So these people come to power to loot, steal, and destroy. They come to power to rescue themselves and not to rescue the population. And look at this. Under Boyka administration as Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, presiding officer of the Liberian Senate, I was sending a report between 2009 to January of 2012. 3 years. The economy of the country in terms of agreements, ranging from concessions to others, it was nothing less than 67 or 69. At the end of the day, guess what? 66 of them were declared bogus by the Auditor General of the Republic of Liberia, John these agreements. So what they know best is to sell the resources of the country, giving Mita Steel another additional years up to 2050. talk about they will review concessions. They fail to review those concessions. The bulk of those concessions they signed in, they approved them in 12 years. Look at the country today with the number of agreements on President Boyka's signature. Look at our nation today. The very demarking that the Unity Party government castigated. That the very company that gave plane to President Boyka to fly into Lofa County.
That's correct.
The very company. These are inherent contradictions. Until the Liberian people be able to stand, they have to stand. I'm not saying in a violent fashion. They have to speak truth to their leaders. They have to have a non-violent protest action demanding that welfare.
That's correct. Void of politics, but I mean, I'm speaking and asking. No, void of politics. Liberians have to speak out.
Yeah, it's not politics. Look here. What's the priorities of the government? The country is hungry. People are selling their markets across the streets of Nigeria. Is the government beautifying the streets? Are they building new sidewalks? They break down all of the infrastructure that they made there, that those people put there. They broke everything and disbursed them.
And they're doing no modernization, nothing. They're breaking the people.
Yeah, I'm just saying. And the place appear more chanty. Look at what happened in 72nd yesterday. If the military barracks will know that, but group of people been there for over 30 years, they say, oh, they get an eviction order 2013, they get an eviction order 2017. So what? So what? What the police want, what the military want to do with that place now? Do they have the money?
Do they have the money? Where is the money? We looking at the budget, we see nothing.
Yeah, but the barracks they live in, the barracks remain challenged. Let's take care of that first. Look at all the businesses that were shut down yesterday. Look at children went to school, and that place was secured by the military. I'm not saying it's not a place of the military, but what plans do you have for your people for relocation? It's very essential. It's the government responsibility to ensure that of the people is up to standard. Make no mistake, and I see people mocking your bandit, they gave you evasion order before, but you stay there. That government property, yes. At the end of the day, do you know how many persons? Nothing less than 10,000 persons will be homeless.
That's correct.
Nothing less than 10,000 persons will be out of businesses.
Okay, Honorable Great, thanks a lot. Your input was actually
constitution, and this is a very serious thing, Abu. It's very serious. The government priorities. People, you know how many children may be out of school because of the government reckless decisions?
Several.
To open alleys, to break down businesses along the roadside, and they are not ready yet to visit. They're bringing more hardship on the people. And that's why the people should not vote this government. George Williams have never, ever done that to the Liberian people. To make them homeless during the period of rainy season. To destroy them. He has never done that. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Honorable Akara Moses Gray, of course, taking our home on that. But folks, fellow Liberians, these conversations are meant, right, to awake in you that spirit of taking initiative, to redeeming yourself. I mean, the governments are instituted for the welfare of the people. And if a government contradicts that sacred principle, then of course the people must remind the government through constructive, civil, democratic means to say, no, this is not what we elected you for. And that's what Liberians are not doing. They're sitting supinely. In fact, they're justifying these actions and making the government feel, okay. But the more they do it, the more they're harming the people. How you go, you break the people. So what thing the AFL come in be there? They come in be a unit. Where the money coming from? They play the air, they buy the horses are the in person. We are not going to go to renovate some of those ones. They could be living on leaking roofs. The existing barracks. Go there and see the conditions. Right? Develop these ones. We're not saying that not your land, that your land. But, I mean, you just want to be seen as breaking places. Look at this, Bourgeois Island, Y'all can your book the place as if they say tomorrow you're starting construction. The whole place looking there. I don't know. This is unacceptable. This break Crime Stopper Liberia. When we come back, we talk labor issues. Then we will know whether government actions and decision. The people are losing their jobs. They're selling Liberian job. Family heads don't have anything. And then the government is harshly breaking their homes, and the women establish small market stores along the road and selling small goods to keep putting food on the table. Government is also breaking that one down. What is happening to Liberia? We'll talk labor right after this break.
There are crimes in many places, in every community. You know, you can see. So if you see crime, report it. Don't take law in your hand, call the right authority. That it can't take care of it. Crime Stopper here for us, bringing safety to your door. Whether you rich or you poor, if you see a human target, enemy you cheche. Do it for your safety. If you see it, don't keep it. You must call to report it. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia.
Crime Stopper Liberia is your community crime fighting partner. Don't take the law into your own hands. Remember, if you see a crime, report it. This is a message from your own self, Old Man Sam Cyan.
Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us.
Okay, Crime Stopper Liberia is the official sponsor and partner of the conversation. This is the Freedom Money Rise on Freedom 87.9. My name is Abu, and of course, you guys here together. We are serving you this breakfast, and of course, we are on the final lap of the conversation this morning. We're going to be talking labor matters with is it the executive director, the Liberia Labor and Governance Alliance. They have done a report on the issues of labor practices in Liberia. It's a comprehensive annual review of labor governance, foreign work permits, institutional failures, and workers' rights in Liberia. So we'd like to know from them, what did the review uncover? What have they seen within their assessment across these different labor-related issues? And to talk about that, there's no better person to do it but Mr. George Tengbe, who's preceded. George, good morning. Welcome.
Yes, Abu, thank you very much. Good morning to you and your co-host, Dekega, and to the Liberian people. It's good to be here, and it's good to have these conversations, because if we don't unearth these things, then it means we are not creating a cemented road for change. So it's good to be here.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year, Chief. But the New Year not happy at all. So
how?
Things are still, not good yet. We'll still have challenges.
See, you agree with Mr. Cummins when he said nothing has changed?
I wouldn't say nothing has changed, but relatively, mostly those things that are supposed to affect, the daily lives of.
So something have changed.
I would say some things have changed. There has been some changes, of course.
Okay. So let's talk about that. You from the Liberal Labor and Governance Alliance. So let's look at your annual review on labor governance, foreign work permits, and institutional failure in workers' right. The executive summary highlights some very important conclusions, but I'd like you to set the stage. Talk to us about this whole review. What did they focus on, and why was it important?
Yeah, thank you very much. So, over past times and for many years in our country, we have never had the situation where there will be an independent organization, aside from the Liberal Labor Congress,
Okay.
which of course that we know has some issues for which they are not so much dormant now, but you can see that they are not actively engaged into these issues where policy-driven matters emanating from the Ministry of Labor in the private sector, emanating from the CSA in the public sector, are not being discussed. I mean, there are no policy review information to support the workings of government for the good of the people. So against that, it was very good that the Liberal Labor and Governance Alliance come into play, and owing to the fact that we were, some of the people that were fortunate to get international scholarships to study and have internships and training programs at international labor organizations, European Trade Union Congress.
Mhm.
So it was only important that we come back to our country to devote our quota. However, let me start the conversation by saying, in the period 2022, the fiscal year budget of
2022?
Yeah, the fiscal year budget of 2022.
We're going into the report now, right?
Right, definitely. And I'm trying to provide a glimpse of the conversation. So in the year 2022, I can still recall the Ministry of Labor budget was at 2.1 million. Okay. Now that budget was being used for the operations of the Ministry of Labor. Against that, in the recast budget of that same period going towards 2023, there was another supplementary budget. I think it was around 1.2 or 1.3 million. I stand to be corrected.
Okay.
Now, I'm trying to raise this argument to say that at that time, we were transitioning into the election period, right? So there were arguments that this Ministry of Labor under this administration is weak, right? They are not doing good. They are not doing better.
Judging by the size of the
Thank you. Judging by the size of the budget. So even though at that time they were not flagging issues of nepotism, corruption, tribalism, and favoritism, but there was the argument that it was not doing good. So a new government transition. Okay. Currently, fast forward, we have a budget at the Ministry of Labor of 2.4 million. That is the current budget.
2.4 million.
Yeah.
And what was it in 2022?
It was 2.1 million.
Okay.
So the budget has increased, right?
0.3.
So that is a positive step, I would say. However, there is still a huge level of neglect. So those things that were flagged, that were wrongs, that were crimes, that were issues, union busting, the workers not being represented, their interests, not being considered, XYZ, they are even, happening now on a more exponential level.
Okay.
So then our question is, was it fair that the budget increased at the Ministry of Labor? Yes, it was very fair. Can the current budget, of course, support the operations of the Ministry of Labor? I don't think so. 2.4 million cannot sufficiently support that entity. However, one will want to argue, but then the ministry is generating more revenue through the agent registration, process. What happened to all of those money? The money that we get here, federal Liberians, the money goes through the LRA, but it does not mean that the money you can hear that the real money that can come to the ministry, because we reported issues of corruption where individuals at the Ministry of Labor.
So what are you trying to say? You're trying to say that the work permit money that they can announce is lesser than what they can,
of course, yes,
generate.
Because if it was not less, how then I fake receipts everywhere? We also came with documents we can share with.
Okay, which will come to. But let's look at your executive summary. You levied some allegations that I want you to go in more. You said the year 2025 exposed severe governance failures in Liberia's labor sector, characterized by widespread corruption, ethnic favoritism, illegal work permit transaction, systemic exclusion of qualified Liberians from employment opportunities. I'd like you to go deep into that.
So let's try to go a little bit.
Do you have the facts to validate those claims or conclusions about the labor sector or the ministry in particular?
I'm going to narrate it for you now. If you don't, if you want to get more facts, you can go to the Ministry of Labor. But now, here are the situation, and these things were investigated. We also have data because we were in the counties and we know exactly what's happening. Let's go to the Ministry of Labor now. The issue of nepotism, favoritism. I mean, for every time I have this conversation, at the end of the day, my inbox will be full with threats. You understand? But the realities are there. You have a minister that comes from one tribal background. Okay. Now, this is not a message to say that I hate the Gio people. No. The message is about mismanagement of the sector. The minister proper is a Gio man. The deputy minister for administration is a Gio man.
But the president sees fit in them.
Yeah, thank you. And
so what is the problem with that?
So the problem is, how then are we considering appointment in government? Are we actually reviewing? Is that a specific committee set up to review the portfolio of individuals appointed by the president?
So is that a labor ministry issue, or is that's a,
it is a holistic it is a holistic problem? But then if it is a holistic problem, it also draws down to the Ministry of Labor. How? Because
but when you highlighted in your report as as an issue, so you can put that on the ministry because there is no law or there is no establishment, there is no structure that says appointments are supposed to be in this format, and then it gets violated by tribal considerations.
Then I think you are trying to misunderstand the law, because Article 18 of the Constitution speaks against one ethnic group. It speaks against one party. It says
it speaks against one ethnic group. Like how?
Like the Constitution, Article 18 says every Liberian citizen has the right to appointment. It does not matter which political party you come from. It does not matter which tribe you come from. Now, all of the list of...
So they did say that, no tribal group must have a dominance in a particular ministry.
No, it did not say that.
So why are you making an issue?
Because logically...
There's no violation of the law.
There is a violation of decency. There is a violation of hygiene.
Those are moral questions you can ask the appointing authority, but you can't hold the ministry responsible for that.
If you want us to...
No. I want our claim to be within the confine of the law.
Our claims are within the confine of the law.
Okay.
All of these people that are appointed, that I'm trying to list for you, they are from the MDR political party.
Okay.
All of them. The minister is from that party. The deputy minister is from that same party.
And the president knows that.
The deputy director on aid and registration is from that party.
So you should take that up with the president, not the people.
Who do you think?
If there is any abuse
who do you think recommended them?
If there is any abuse
under whose recommendation?
No, I'm challenging your thought. One minute here, I'm challenging your thought to say if there is any abuse there, then that abuse has to be from the president. It's the president that's trying to agree with you partially. The president abused his presidential authority, and of course, dominated the ministry with Guild people. But you can't hold the administration because they saw themselves there. The president appointed them. They did not form themselves and go and take over the ministry. The president appointed them.
Agree. But they got the assistant ministers, the directors. All of these guys were appointed on recommendation by the
Judge, you gotta be audible.
by the minister. Now, sorry.
Go ahead. Gotta be audible enough.
Thank you. So, the deputy directors, take for an example, directors on labor standards that are also coming from the same tribal group. Are you also saying that?
Let's listen to the tribal thing before we take all the time on it. Let's talk about corruption. You see, there's corruption there.
Yes, definitely. We have issues. We have public, not just issues. We have made public series of documents to show that the commissioner for Lower Margibi County was involved into corruption. He collected a fine of over $5,000 that should have been paid through the LRA, but it was not paid through the LRA. He created his own customer receipt. We have published these things. They are on Facebook. We even wrote the ministry to take action. They have done nothing, only because with the relative of the vice president, so he is untouchable. Now, that is not just all. When we mention corruption at the sector, in recent time, Matthew Jones was dismissed. Allegedly, they said he took $1,000 that should have gone to the LRA for work permit fee. That meaning he reduced the work permit fee, and from 3,000 to 1,000, he pocketed that money. So he was
pocketed the 1,000 or 2,000?
The 1,000, it means he only took 1,000 for the permit. It means he reduced the permit fee and he took that money. But the reality is,
he gave out the permit.
According to the Ministry of Labor, that was the reason why he was dismissed. He was dismissed for defrauding the ministry. So the thing is, if you can dismiss Matthew Jones for allegations of corruption, how then you cannot punish or dismiss the Labor Commission for Margibi County? How then do you cannot recommend a punishment for Assistant Minister Emmanuel Zor when we publish again a document that he issued temporary work permit outside of his jurisdictions? How then will you say you will only suspend the assistant director on alien registration at the Ministry of Labor? You said because of miscommunication, he should have not responded to an email confirming that he will provide work permit.
How does those render the entity corrupt or a place of corruption?
When money that should be for a specific purpose, when they are not for that purpose, when they are considered for an individual pocket.
For example, how much money are we talking about? What's
$5,000 for the commissioner for Lower Margibi County? He collected that money. 3,500 plus 1,500. That includes the total fine if you don't have the lawful work permit to operate in Liberia. Okay, that money was pocketed. Okay, by him. He customized his own receipt and he used that money. We have documents to it. These are not allegations. These are facts. The ministry has not come out to say anything. Not only that, temporary work receipt issued by the Assistant Minister Emmanuel Zor in going towards Mount Barclay to a businessman and outside of his jurisdiction, but then nothing was done to him. The president did not even take action, and there was no recommendation from the minister for punishment on these guys. So when it comes to those guys that are actually in the confine of the President MD political party, they are untouchable. But when it comes to other people at that same ministry, then they go into punishment, severe punishment, either dismissal or suspension without pay for 2-3 months. So these things, they channel the variety of mismanagement that actually leads to corruption.
So you're concerned about the inequality in the place in terms of prosecuting or punishing people alleged out of corruption.
That is the reason why we say the high level of favoritism. It only came because of the tribal bound that we have at the Ministry of Labor. The contract has been terminated effectively immediately as of December 31st. But guess what? It means some labor inspectors, labor coordinators, and commissioners, their contract has been terminated. This is not a secret anymore. It is open.
So what does that mean?
So, but there are other people that comes from the background of the MDR. Those other people are being protected and shielded by the Minister of Labor. So they will not, they have been reassigned. So the thing is, you have the human resource manager at the Ministry of Labor that comes from the MDR and is also a Guillermo. Now, when that happens, you realize that there will be a lot of times that compromising will take over. Real issues that should affect everyone in general, the issue of inequality will not be addressed. People will then want to, compromise certain areas, certain positions, certain things for themselves. And
okay,
for
let me ask
one
you here,
party.
after you say, he said under the leadership of Mr. Kubo Kra, the ministry increasingly drifted from its legal mandate. The foreign work permit system, a central tool for regulating the labor's market, devolved into an unregulated, cash-based marketplace dominated by political appointees. Talk to us about that.
So political appointees are the people that were appointed.
No, I understand that. Yeah, but the general claim about the ministry drifting from its
of course, definitely. Right now, the Ministry of Labor is one of the top revenue generation entities of government. It is not a closed secret. It's open.
And what's the problem with that?
So that means the core function of the Ministry of Labor, according to the act that created that ministry, is to support and defend workers. Is to enforce the Decent Work Act of Liberia. Is to make sure that Liberian workers are protected 100% on the job.
Are they not doing that?
No, those things are not being done. We have documented cases.
So because they're enforcing foreign work permit, that means they're not focusing on protecting workers.
Then it tends to question why the ministry was even created. I just explained. It was created to support and defend workers. It was created to enforce the Decent Work Act of Liberia, our labor law.
You spoke about working in the confines of the law. The law doesn't prohibit the issuance of work permit to foreigners.
The law did not and will not. When you follow the Ministry of Labor workings, at the time, Minister Tewon Gonglo was then Minister of Labor. It was at that time the work permit issue came up very heavily. And at that time, the fee was around $700. I stand to be corrected. But the reason why that fee came up, it was because the minister at the time said he wanted to create the situation where there could be a total discouragement of foreign workers occupying positions that Liberian can do in our country.
This current minister,
of course,
you remember it was at 1,000.
Yes,
increased to 2,000,
and we were the one that were even advocating for the fee to go up. Yeah, sure, definitely. So the thing is, what are those measures that we are setting in place to make sure that foreigners don't occupy these jobs? One of them,
you advocate for incrementing the fees, and the ministry and the government he did, and they've increased the fees. Then
no, but increment in the fee was not our only advocacy. We were advocating that the fee be increased so that it would discourage companies, and then we were also advocating for the full implementation of the Bureau of Employment at the Ministry of Labor. We need to see that bureau expanded so that when foreign companies come to our country and they have jobs or positions for foreign nationals to occupy, the Bureau of Employment will make sure that those positions are advertised on their website. There is a thorough vetting taking place where people will apply to the bureau. The bureau will be part of that investigation to make sure that everyone occupying such a position has followed our law and that no Liberian in our country is qualified.
If I'm getting it correct, so that system will compel foreign businesses to hire through the bureau?
Of course, every company, every foreign company in our country, and that is supported
Will the
by.
bureau have that capacity to do that? Be hiring, be the HR for foreign companies?
No, the bureau is
Are
not.
you not creating another window for
No,
corruption and
no,
compromise?
no. The bureau will not be the human resource manager for any company. The bureau will sit as an independent body, responsible and ready to vet every foreign national that apply for a job. Take for an example, Abu and Hagar Construction Company. You are a foreign company and you want to hire people. You will inform the bureau these vacancies exist here, and we want you to see them. Now, when foreigners apply for those posts, it is your responsibility, or it is the bureau responsibility, to go to the company and make sure that those posts, there are no Liberian in the country qualified for those jobs. So those jobs should be posted on the website of the Ministry of Labor under the Bureau of Employment.
That is what happening.
Are these things spent on?
What did you review?
So the entire fiscal year 2025 on the review, there was not a single day that the Bureau of Employment at the Ministry of Labor published. I challenge anyone from the Ministry of Labor to open the website and show us where they published a vacancy from ArcelorMittal, from Bangli, from China Union, where these vacancies were published, and there were no qualified Liberian in the.
Are they the one that's supposed to publish?
The bureau is responsible. That is why you were created. You were created to have oversight on these kinds of things. So if you are not doing
the bureau is supposed to approve the vacancy, and then the agencies or the companies go and do the scouting.
How then do you approve the vacancy?
No, the positions come to you from the company. Okay, you confirm that these are not within the bracket of the jobs reserved for Liberians. Yeah, you can go ahead and do your recruitment.
So Abu,
so that's how it's supposed to be.
Let me ask you this. When was the last time in the period under review 2025 that you see the Bureau of Employment at the Ministry of Labor publish any foreign vacancy in any newspaper? I mean, the Bureau doing her own work. All of these foreign vacancies are always published by the companies.
But yeah, that's what I've known to be the procedure, unless what you are saying sounding new.
So then, if the bureau will just sit there and allow the company to publish, to do their own hiring process, then how do you think Liberian will be able to get those jobs? Do you think that those companies will sit there and allow Liberians to get jobs that they think that they can bring in that one or two persons, man, to get?
Where else do you know that the state agency will be the one recruiting for foreign companies?
In Ghana.
In Ghana, when
so the state agency does not recruit from foreign company. The state agency is informed about vacancies.
But are you telling me that the Ministry of Labor, they're not informed about it?
So if they were informed, or if they are informed, why are they not publishing these things? It is so simple. It's like ABC.
But the companies are publishing it.
No, then we are still drifting the conversation back.
Why you don't trust the companies themselves publishing it?
Because they will compromise things. Of course, they will compromise. The company will not be in the interest of the Liberian workers. No way. The company will be in their own interest. So it is the Liberian people, through the Ministry of Labor, through the Bureau of Employment.
Have you done a survey to establish that foreign businesses in Liberia do not want to hire Liberian?
So let me ask you this.
No, I'm asking you. I want you to answer that.
On our scope, on the survey that we have conducted, and me personally, I have investigated because I have reviewed letter of request for permit from foreign companies. And those letters, take for an example, one came from Bangli, where he was requesting the Ministry of Labor to provide or to approve work permit for over 60 workers, foreign workers. The letter was so vague. It tells you, hello, we are Bangli, we are a subsidiary to China Union. We are writing to request the immediate acceptance or the provision of work permit for these workers. These workers are to do a technical job for this company. And that letter did not explain nothing further. Now, what are those technical jobs? We don't know them. What are those technical jobs that you think Liberians cannot do? Are they experts or don't we have eye experts? Are they railroad engineers? So all of these things need to be provided to the Liberian people, and those information, they are meticulous enough for the Ministry of Labor through the Bureau of Employment to understand that they need them, and because they need them, they have to provide them to the public.
Although the ministry announced a nationwide audit in June 2025, the exercise yielded only 19 permit revocation out of nearly 11,000. How?
So in the period under review, 2024 to 2025, the Ministry of Labor, after they had their intensive audit, they most talk about audit, and that is one of the achievements according to the Minister of Labor. He said that is one of his major achievements, that audit. But guess what? The audit only provided to us by the minister that only 19 work permits were revoked. Our question is, you conducted
all the other permits are legit.
Yes, you conducted.
And do you have a problem with that?
Of course, go to Lead Foco. Yeah, in Iseonta, Bushra, sir, going down. You will find foreigners doing jobs that are bringing to even times 20. Go to some other companies, SWAT, supplying West Africa. You will see the same thing. Guess what these guys do? And this is the reason why I keep saying the Bureau at the Ministry of Labor is dead. Because these guys will go to the Ministry of Labor and say, I'm applying for work permit to serve as a manager. So on paper, they're going to be a manager, right? When they leave from there, they go to the entity of work. They are sales agent. They are warehouse manager. So how then do we know whether these people are doing the right job? Now, the Bureau need to work in connection with the Inspector General and the labor inspectors or commissioner or coordinators.
And that brings us to the enforcement of the Decent Work Act.
Is that the enforcement arm is dead? And why?
And what does that mean for Liberian labor?
It means Liberian laborers should continue to bear the full weight of total non-support from the government. This means Liberian workers, this Ministry of Labor, through the government of Liberia, is not ready to support you. And this is simple. The supplementary payroll of the Ministry of Labor that was submitted by the minister, though it was bloated with ghost names, okay, because they were like Director on Occupation Safety and Health name on that list, and his name or her name were already reflecting on the listing of the Ministry of Labor payroll. Okay, so there were many names on that listing that are already on the original payroll of the Ministry of Labor. So that supplementary payroll submitted to the Ministry of Finance in 2025, October of last year, was not approved by the Ministry of Finance. It was denied. Now, because of that denial, many labor inspectors, and I can confirm today, that signed contract with the ministry since the ministry took over under this new administration, their contracts has been terminated because the justification is the ministry don't have the money because the supplementary period was not improved. So it means the Ministry of Finance, the government of Liberia, is also helping to create more situations where Liberians workers, in different parts of the country will be left in limbo because the budget.
So that means there will be no inspectors.
Of course, because
supervision and of course inspection at the different areas to know whether the companies are adhering to the Decent Work Act and of course the rights of those Liberian workers.
I agree. That is the exact thing I'm saying. And on that part, I support the Minister of Labor. The money, the budget for that ministry cannot take for an example in this year budget. The compensation of employees at the Ministry of Labor is 1,400,000.
How you support the minister on that part when you yourself have said the minister have bragged that they have raised more money, right? This time around, and yet they cannot pay labor inspector.
They raised more money. The money that he provided that they have raised, where is it going? It's going through the NRA. So it means the Ministry of Labor is supporting the budget of Liberia, the national budget. So the money is not going in the coffers of the Ministry of Labor. It's going through the NRA. So it was...
Yeah, but that should inform contribution to the ministry.
Thank you. So why is the contribution not supported? That is because it's either the minister was not able to justify the budgetary support he was requesting from the Minister of Finance, or that the minister was a little bit unclear, maybe about the ghost names or bloated, listing that he provided to the Minister of Finance. Those are possibilities. We don't know yet, but like I said, on that part, the approved budget of 1.4 million for compensation at the Ministry of Labor is even below the office of the vice president and of the president's wife, the office of the first lady. The office of the first lady budget is 1.5 million. So it means the Minister of Finance approved and improved the office of the first lady budget to be better than the compensation of the workforce at the Ministry of Labor. And this is a slap in the face, because you need labor inspector for every district. You need 2 or 3. You need labor commissioners. You need coordinators. And these coordinators are regional. So if you only have 15 to 25 labor inspectors in the entire ministry, how is it possible that all of these people will perform magic to go to all of the counties every month, every week to carry on work? It's not possible. It's only possible
so that means
when there is enough budget. It is not guaranteed. And I gave you an example. There was a time that we went to Channel Union in Bombing County, and it was surprising to know we posted a picture of a worker that lost his 4 toes at job site, the Channel Union. Now that worker, up to present, he has not received justice. Up to present, we were told, because when we went there to investigate, we were told that labor inspectors and commissioners went there to Channel Union to investigate that case, to inspect. And they were shocked to see that a Chinese man was serving as a gate man, and a Chinese man is even pushing wheelbarrow. Now, that is not the major thing. The major thing is no people were denied entrance because the Chinese people called the minister, someone from the Ministry of Labor, and the person said that they should walk away from there, they should leave. So they left. So that investigation is still pending. And we have the medical report of that person. So these things are happening. So it is clarified that Liberian workers will not be prioritized with this budget and under this mismanagement, under this huge level of discrepancy at the Ministry of Labor. It is not possible.
So in spite of a $1.2 billion as a country, you're still the very relevant ministries that should perform tasks that are important to the safety and protection of Liberian workers are not going to be achieved.
No, it is not going to be achieved. It can only be achieved if the Ministry of Labor budget goes up to 7 million.
And what are some of those common concerns and challenges that you've observed that laborers are facing across the companies and the businesses? And don't forget about the school boards; they themselves are going through some things.
So there are issues of occupational safety and health. That is one of the major things. Occupational safety and health. Now, that department was dormant since the minister took over. It got reactivated. It got reactivated last year. In the 3rd quarter of last year. Now, according to the minister, it is about time now that the occupational safety and health department at the Ministry of Labor support the workings of workers. Sadly, let me say this to you, and the former labor minister, Councillor Tewon Gongro, the reason why I always like to pay reference to him, because he was setting the benchmark. He was creating the passage point for Liberian workers to actually be supported and defended by the Ministry of Labor. Tewon Gongro at the time created something called Occupational Safety and Health Committee as a mandatory obligation of every private company. So it means every private company in the country, you should have an Occupational Safety and Health Committee. And that committee is responsible to ensure that the company is in compliance with occupation safety and health protocols as of the Ministry of Labor as enshrined in the December Act of Liberia. That is totally dead. Another thing, labor inspectors going out there to investigate. It is very poor. We just came from Grand Bassa County, where we are investigating the situation. We just concluded that 65 workers working for Sigma Group. You all know Sigma Group right across Butcher Island. That company got a contract through Stop and Shop. Orange Liberia, Orange Data Center is now being built in Grand Bassa County. The project is worth $10 million Liberian dollars. Orange Liberia gave that contract to Stop and Shop. Stop and Shop hire Sigma Group. Stop and Shop hire Sigma Group. Sigma Group hire locally Liberians. And these Liberians, they hire them on daily hire.
Liberian engineers? Or?
No, not engineers. Yeah, laborers. They are on daily hire. So they took them and carried them to Grand Bassa County.
They took them from Monrovia?
Yeah.
Wow. No daily hire
About 35 persons left from Monrovia and 30 persons from Grand Bassa, right? Okay. Because they needed to balance it. They needed skills and unskills. So most of the skills guys came from Monrovia.
Okay.
So they went there. Now, the project is on. I will share it with you pictures and videos. Safe drinking water is not provided to workers. The workers are drinking from borehole, open borehole. We have the videos. We have published some of them. Open boreholes. And that borehole is surrounded by dirty water. And the water they are drinking, and the same water being used to mix the concrete and do other work. That is not just the top.
Are you kidding?
I'm serious. Also, there is no occupational safety and health there. Imagine, there is no first aid there. So if I get hurt on the job, like I investigated over 20 workers that got hurt on the job. They had to leave to go home to go treat themselves. Lebanese men are the one managing the Liberians there. You can see the high level of labor abuse and exploitation. Shouting, insulting.
Don't labor inspector go?
No, labor inspector went there. The labor inspector, and this is an open call to him. The labor inspector went there. He told the workers, because the workers were complaining that their Sunday wages is also not being paid, and it has not been paid since March 2025 up to present.
Okay.
The holiday wage also not been paid. The overtime wage, they are paying a half. So when these workers approached me, we investigated the local year, then we had to travel to begin. I was in Grand Bassa for 3 different days investing this case. So the labor commissioner, instead of him doing his work, the labor commissioner, instead of him going in defense of the workers, and we serve him a separate letter. We serve a letter to the minister. We also serve a letter to the assistant minister on labor standard. We serve a letter to the inspector general. These people have not even traveled there to go and investigate these things since December 16.
Labor most time complain that even the inspectors most time take side with the foreign or the contractors instead of the people.
Yeah, which is true. And in this case, in Grand Bassa, it was surprising to know that labor inspector or a commissioner with.
Well, why do you think, and then we'll go to the phone line, why do you think there is this level of abandonment of Liberian laborers to the mercy of these foreign companies or businesses?
I think it all boils down to 2 things. One, the budget. Because most of the labor inspectors, their salary is around $325, $350. And I just told you, some of them were on contract. Their contract, all of them, contracts has been terminated. They are reassigning some of them based on favor from the minister, based on favor from the human resource director at the Ministry of Labor. So these things are the bedrock issue. If you pay someone low, how then do you expect them to perform magic? Do you think they will really be in the interest of the Liberian workers? They will be in the interest.
These were concerns, President.
These
were concerns. You guys can bear me with President Baka campaign on promising factory workers that they were going to be taken care of and their life are going to be better when he becomes president. As the commitment comes from that end, can the Liberal state be hopeful that this mail is going to rescue their condition?
This can only be done on few conditions. One, there should be an improved budget of the Ministry of Labor. That is the first thing. 2,
well, you said there are corruption at the Ministry of Labor. You said they should carry money.
Of course, improve the budget and then reshuffle the executive directors or the cabinet administration of labor. If possible, we are calling for the immediate resignation of the minister because he hasn't done anything for the workers, because he does not care. You will only see that minister going to investigate when people of his kind, when his kinsmen are involved. And this is a challenge to him. If he wants to have a debate with me, it's fine. We can prove these things. When situation took place in Nima County that involved Azure Metal workers and some other contractors, the minister rushed to Nima County. But guess what? The situation that took place in Kinjor is still unresolved. We have raised so many issues, written the ministry so many times. They have not investigated some of these things.
Okay.
So, of course, these things are happening, and it is sad for our country, Abu.
His name is George Tengbe, and of course, these conversations are conversations that you can't just end up on. And the lines are already buzzing. 0776 104 6500 104 plus 231 6500 104 are the numbers. Probably you have a case or you have an experience that you want to bring up and ask our guests to elaborate more on. This is your opportunity. Let's begin with this call. Good morning. Good morning.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm back with a story of the man means don't say his stuff. I'm getting his argument.
I mean, what's your concern? Do you have a question? Okay. Okay. Hello. Hello. Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Ibrahim. I'm from people.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I went also with a company in a consumer rights question.
Okay.
The company, we don't have state people or we have no medication. That's absolutely. So I really want to reflect it.
The Medina right question, they're also violating your labor right.
Yeah.
All of you are working there.
Huh?
All right, thank you. We didn't even talk about the public sector workers.
Yeah, I was absent, brother. How do you know if they had a proper class of these to you people? But they couldn't get it for you what you want.
I mean, you call your name.
Yeah, this is Teresa. Your dear brother. So, in your side, you get the incompetent men people workers. You expect the whole system damaged. About planning, you have to think so to press workers. Nothing they will do. The guys are couple on the weight of their own aptitude. The guys are headed and seriously doing a little job.
Okay, thank you very much. Good morning. Morning.
I agree. It's like you're still getting.
Go ahead, General.
Okay, I know about the budget, right? So I want to ask my brother this budget that you put to your farm, 1.2 billion, this budget was all the president for all of water, we are going to do 1.2 billion. I want to get the funds from the same people. I want to know, what are the people every day? What are the people this budget 1.2 billion? So what is budget to be from? I want to know, I want to know, but this man is feeding. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. But he is not part of those who, are steering the ship, right? He is an activist. 0776 104 6500 104. Pick like 2 calls or so. But listen to the first batch of callers. George.
So the callers just solidify my argument, and they solidify the report that we have presented to the Liberian people.
Okay, let me squeeze this. Good morning.
Good morning, Chief. How are you doing?
I'm fine, sir. Let's hear you.
Okay. My name is Henry Escola, calling personally from Chiquito Factory. Okay. Let me say thank you to your studio guest. And I work with GVO in Grand Cook County.
Okay.
I want to appreciate him this morning for the exposition. And I also want to inform you that all the explanation he gave this morning is 100% right. But then, my only part about it, maybe you don't have the opportunity to go in for peace. But is happening here, what is happening in your east. My brother, you can take my number. I can invite you to Grand County, you come and see the DB company and see how that Grand and suffer. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Go ahead, you're live on the radio.
Yeah, President Malakwe for about 30 dollars per car.
Let's hear you from Seti Brother to Raplas. Do you work there?
Yeah, but you see the last year when we are brother, we very sorry in the company to be fair. Sorry, yes. You know what I mean?
But they say the government people are supposed to go see your condition and take some action. They say the government now move them from the period their contract expired. They no money there to pay them, so almost nobody going to be seeing your condition.
The 30 months on pay.
The photo no, yeah, I want that the bad this is too much.
I hear your man in the background, but I want you got one message for the president. Wait, listen. The president. Hello, my friend. The president is listening to you now. You get one message for the president as a Liberian laborer. What would you want to say to the president this morning?
I want the president to come to our kid. What I want to say, look for money. And then went for hospital telephone. It's what is not a man. For hospital telephone, I mean, go to the take for money. And then we will get the platform. If they just not, I mean, if all of the nobody will hear the data.
Good morning. This other one breaks my heart. This other one. But Josh, this is it. Squeeze this line. Maybe somebody calling for another factory. Good morning.
Wow.
Morning.
Yeah.
My man, get for all that thing. Go ahead.
So Abu, the reality is the sector has been removed from the workings of the government of Liberia. What do I mean? The sector is in total neglect. The sector, these people in the private sector, these companies, these workers, Liberians, the people are totally suffering about that. I can tell you this for free. Just 2 weeks ago, we posted a video that a lady that worked with Aqualight, she was confirming to us that 2 of her brothers lost their hands at the sector, at that work site. 13 workers, 13 months, contractors at the Ministry of Labor. Contract were terminated. Some of them are labor commissioners, coordinators, investigators. Their contracts were terminated. Guess what? In some cases, the Ministry of Labor has sent people to be served as acting labor inspector. Why they're already trained people, but you have terminated their contract, or you don't send some people to act. Those are small.
Reason for the termination?
They said that their contract has ended. They signed a contract, 1 year contract or 2 year contract with the ministry, and your contract ended. So they are terminating it. That's just it. But we know that those contracts have been terminated because, one, I believe it's because of budget line. 2, I also believe is because we are in the third quarter of this regime, right? So many of the people, in my mind, that were promised jobs, some of them need to come on board, so they are removing some other people. Honestly, and then not to forget Abu, George Fem, our lawmaker practiced the same thing. Guess what? 12 months and more, we not pay the people down here. The same people that stood with him during the campaign period, the same people that were there holding his placards, the same people that were there pushing ideas, logics for him, using their platform, they have not been paid. Yes.
But they got my
Representative down.
But they're not saying it. Why are you talking about that?
Because they don't want to speak up. Some of them,
they call you, they say you should.
Abu, I have investigated them. I'm telling you, if over 13 months, the last time they were paid was in December 2025. And guess what? They were paid against 2024. December.
You mean Unity Party, Emmanuel Down?
Emmanuel Down United Party. And this is a statement that worked for over 13 months. This is not news. This is open secret.
This is news.
Oh, it is an open secret. Go there. You will only find 1 or 2 staff at that entity working. Vast majority of them,
people from the vocational school is running. That's all.
I agree, but then what happened to those professional people that have been working for him? Guess what? The mayor told them, say,
but you got to be sure whether they're employees or they.
No, the mayor refused to provide anybody contract. They've been running that place on friendship. He said, "Oh, you know, we are all family now. You just need to be working here, you know, and XYZ. When things get better, when I win the election, you will get your employment." Fly. That was the first one. The second fly. The man took the people money, May, June, July, August salary. He said, "Oh, you know, this is in 2023 now. The campaign now go to a certain level now. No money. We broke. So we're taking your salary that you're supposed to get for the 4 months or 5 months. You please give it to me. So
so the lawmaker that's supposed to go advocate for
the people that they mean are breaking the law. So then how do you expect our labor sector to improve when the same people that should be pushing ideas are the one canceling everything?
How do you leave us? We're out of time.
So to end, Minister Kopokra, I beg you. We have had a series of international engagement with top organizations. You have to improve the child labor standards of the Ministry of Labor. The Ministry of Labor score F in our annual labor report, and guess what? On child labor component, they also score F in the U.S. Department of State on Labor. So it means the minister is actually not doing anything for the Liberian people. So it is about time that we try to improve that sector, and we will not stop talking, Abu. We will continue.
Thank you very much. His name is George Tenga. He's been here talking labor matters, and you hear the calls from the different factories. We gotta go.
Abu,
we'll be here.
We also forgot the donation.
No, we'll talk about that.
Okay. We will be here on tomorrow to climax another week's presentation partnership. As a matter of fact. So until we are here, let's keep the peace of Liberia. This country, houses here will burn, but this country will not burn.
Okay, until we see you tomorrow, do have a wonderful time. Bye-bye.